ready for a sound check.
So first of all, Phyllis, so we can check our sound levels, can you please tell me your name and what job you did when you were working in pot banks?
Right, I'm Phyllis Preston, and I was an aerographer.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Yes, so basically we just want to get a general idea of what life was like working on the pots, basically.
Yes.
So to begin with, could you tell me what you did, so what jobs you worked in and what the sort of it was like doing those?
Well, I worked with. I got a gun. It was like a gun that you poured glaze in. That's this sort of glaze, and sprayed all the different colours, and it had to be done evenly. I saw it had all come back, and you'd have to repair it and alter it. And it was standing all day. And when you're in a hood, and a motor was going to try and take the dust away, but evidently it didn't take it all away. But it was hard work, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. And you spray on a wheel, put the cup or plate on the wheel, and you spun the wheel and sprayed the colour on, all different colours. And then you'd put it on. There was at the side of you, there was like a trestle with a 6-foot board across, and you filled that board, taking it from this side to this, and then lifted the board and put it on a truck with 4 wheels. It held 8 or 10 boards. Then you had to, when it was full, you had to push it to the kiln where they fired it in the kiln. It gradually got better. They started having labourers to help us. But it was very hard work till we had them.
So before, so you sort of did it before the labourers were around, so that was quite a lot of manual work for...
Oh, it was, and I'd got arthritis in my spine. It wasn't as bad then, but that didn't help. When I finished work at 5 o'clock, it was really painful, my back was. But I enjoyed the work, and I met some really nice people. I met some that weren't so nice, but I've still got friends from then, and that's... Well, I worked there 35 years, so... Yes, there was some... I met some nice people.
Was it something that you went sort of straight into from school? Was that your first?
No, I was a dressmaker for years, and then when I got pregnant with my son, I stayed at home 5 years till he went to school, and then I started back up, and somebody said, "Oh, it's really good wages if you work on this." Aerographing it was called, and I thought, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I went to do school dinners for a short while, and then I think I got about £3 a week. And the aerographing, you could earn up to 6, 8, 9, and it seemed a fortune then.
Is that
So
doing
that's
piecework?
it was piecework.
Just so for the documentary's benefit, so because just pretend that I don't know what piecework is.
No.
Could you explain what piecework is to me?
It's you got so many, you got so much for a dozen, and the harder it was, you got more for the dozen. It was paid by the dozen usually. Yes, it was hard work, but it was interesting, And if you had something that came back, you didn't get paid for doing it. You had to do that and put it right yourself in your own time. Yeah, so that'd drop your wages a little bit, you know. So you did try to get it right first time.
Yeah, I suppose there was ups and downs to working on piecework then. Do you think it gave women
there
an
was.
opportunity to be able to earn good money though?
Yes.
Because they could work hard and then...
Yes. And I wanted to earn as much as I could then. Yes, it was. It was hard work, but interesting work as well.
Did that make it like a competitive atmosphere? 'Cause
Yes.
everyone was trying to make as much as they could.
Yes. It was. I was always very fast. I did. Yes, I always earned quite good money.
Aside from obviously the hard work that you had to do, what were the personal relationships like?
You mean
So
the bosses or?
Oh yeah, everyone. Was there a big sense of camaraderie or?
Well, there was, with it being piecework, there was quite a lot of competition, like so and so's had better work than me, and why haven't I? You know, that sort of thing. And if you were a favourite of the bosses, you could get more work, more better. You know, to be. You get the easier work with the most pay. There was, and they did speak to you then. They wouldn't get away with it now, but they did speak to you awful sometimes, you know. It was, yes, it was. It had its good times, and it was same as Christmas and things like that. It was real camaraderie. You know, we used to go to the George Hotel in Burslem and have a big party for everybody, and yes, it was made some good friends, you know.
Was it mostly women that you were working with, or was there?
There was some men, because they what they call the dippers that were not far from us, so there were some men. Some of them were quite rough, you know. Some of the women were, though. You know, it was quite crude, some of them.
Can you remember anything from then that was...
Oh, I can. I don't like to, but... and they'd throw them in the canal. They'd get some men... Sorry, I keep forgetting. Would, if it was the birthday or anything like that, they'd strip them and throw in them sort of things. It was horrible. And if I never used to like dirty jokes, as I called them then. Well, my friends didn't either, them as I stayed friendly with. But some encouraged it, you know. They were all different types of people.
So it was even the women were getting involved in those sort of things as well?
Yes, yeah. Some of them, not all of them, you know. Yes, they sort of encouraged it, and no, I wouldn't. And they'd say, "Who do you think you are?" You know, because I didn't like it. But yes, it was an education, really. So different from, because I was dressmaking at the Judy factory in Hanley before that, till I had my son. And it was completely different, all women. And we used to make dresses for Bratton Dykes, and it was good. It was nice, that was. But that was harder work than the pot bank, much harder. It was piecework, but you didn't get much money for one dress, you know. It was really hard, that was. It was called the Judy factory.
Do you think that while you were working in the pottery industry, was there quite a lot of opportunities for women to have higher roles? I know some people that I've spoke to have spoke about, was it they had like a missus who was like in
They
charge?
had a missus, yes. But I never it was less money. I never wanted anything like that because they told me I was the highest earner, piecework. So my money would have dropped right down if I just wanted the money I did. Yes, but my friend, she went to what they call a missus. Audrey, she did. But you could, what's it? Not as much as men. There were never as many opportunities for women as men. No.
So all the like managerial roles,
Them were all men. The missuses were like over a few in what we used to call shops, the different shops. Like the aerographers and yeah. It was it was, like I say, it was hard work, but I did like it. I really liked it. But I finished when I was 56 with me arthritis was bad. Yeah, but I've never smoked in my life, but I've got COPD in my lungs. I think it must have been the dust, you know. But like I say, you do if you want the money. Yeah.
We're trying to get a bit of a feel of what it's like for women in particular.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were ever treated differently, or any of the other women were treated differently purely for being women, other than the fact that you couldn't really do the managerial roles?
I don't think so. I don't. Because if you did your work, we were all right, you know. And I just wanted to do my job, and like I say, but some of the women were spoke to absolutely awful if they couldn't quite get a job right, you know. Yes, it was awful. They wouldn't get away with it today, I don't think. I don't know. But they do... yes, the men, they wouldn't talk to the men like they did the women. No, I don't think they'd have got away with it, you know.
Yeah, what sort of things would they be saying to the women? Can you remember anything?
They were like... my friend, she wasn't that quick with her aerographing. And when we were going home one night, and he said to her, get a good night's sleep or something, because you're in trouble tomorrow. You know, he says, well, she was worried all night, you know, for your rubbish you've turned out and all that. And we were just going past, we were just going home then. And she was in tears. And I've never forgot that, because it really upset her.
So they were quite hard on the women.
Yeah. Oh, he said something about you'd be up the creek without a paddle, something like that. He said to her. Yeah, it was Vera that was, Chris.
Do you have any specific fond memories? Like, I know a lot of women I've spoke to have mentioned how, say, some of the women in the lunch breaks would go and do the hair in the toilets.
Oh yes,
and stuff like that.
Well, when we first went, I worked in Burslem. Midwinter was in Burslem, and then they moved to Middleport, and we had an hour lunch then. So we used to run along to the park and eat a sandwich and then come back. And that was nice, because we all went in the summer. and that was nice. And then gradually they cut the lunchtime down to 3/4, and then half an hour. If we did add half an hour, we could finish work at lunchtime on Friday. And so everybody opted for that. But I didn't really like that. Wanted the half day, but it wasn't a long enough break when you're when you're doing a heavy job. You just had time, walk to the canteen, have a cup of tea and a sandwich, and rush back. And then it's all lifting all day. Yeah, it was. I was glad finished when I did at 56. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Would you say that you're proud to have worked in the pottery industry?
Well, yes, really, because I'm proud of the ware that they turned out. It was beautiful. I've still got lots of it. Yes, and it was interesting, the different patterns, and yeah, it was. I never thought I'd stick it as long as I did, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
What specifically did you enjoy the most? Was it the fact that you were creating something that you liked, or was it the fact that you had a lot of friendships there?
Both of them things, yeah. We had good friends there, and we really stuck together. There was 3 of us that really looked out for one another, Yes, I enjoyed, and the hard work didn't, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. But when I look back, I don't know how I did it. And then I'd come home and cook the tea, and I've even got the veg and everything ready before I went to work, so I could save a bit of time when I come in. Yeah. Yeah. And one of my friends, she'd got 4 children, and she says, I should say Sunday, I got up at 5:30 and made a big meat and potato pie, so I've just got to do it for when I get in, just cook. Yeah, them sort of things, Yeah, it's really hard work. Oh, I am dry.
Yeah, don't let your tea go cold.
It's a bit dry. I can't think of anything. Used to think, where we work, the aerographers used to think, how rough in the clay end. They called it the clay end. Oh, I'm glad I don't work in the clay end. It's down there, because the women were really rough. Things they got up to, I wouldn't dream of it. They grabbed the men and... Yeah.
I know a lot of it. Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, thanks, Doc.
I know a lot of women that I've spoke to have said that quite a lot of the men were afraid to go into the areas that had a lot of women.
They would be.
Why do you think that was?
Because they'd grab hold of them. It was horrible. Oof. Yeah. Yes, they would. They'd be frightened. And you think about it. I mean, they'd be in real trouble today, wouldn't they? So they should be.
I find that interesting because you always would have thought it would be the other way around, and it would have been the women that were more afraid to go in areas with a lot of men.
You would, wouldn't you? Yeah. I couldn't believe it when I first went on a pop band, because I'd done dressmaking, all women, you see. And all very nice, hardly any swearing and all that, I wouldn't have lasted in the clay end at all. But like you say, they were frightened. I've heard them say, "I'm knocking down there," you know, they're women.
Do you have any specific memories of sort of funny things like that would happen?
Not really, because I didn't work in the clay end. But they used to tell me what they did. They'd hide, so they'd think there was nobody there, and then they'd jump out and grab hold of them. That's what I was told, you know. But I didn't go down. Very rarely went down the clay end. But I used to, and they used to. There was one young boy he was a bit backward, and labouring, and there was 2 or 3 of them that used to hit him, and I was frightened, but I went up to these and I said, "If you put a finger on him again, I'll kill you." I was really furious because I felt so sorry for him. I said, "And I'll report you," and you know and they didn't hit him after that. I was amazed, and didn't think they'd take any notice of me, but they did. They did. I was fuming, poor lad. He was really knocked about, you know. Yeah, and they threw him in the canal, and because the canal was run at the back, you see. And if it was the birthdays, they threw him in the canal.
It's interesting that you say you could report them. Were you part of the union? I know a lot of women have told me about how good the union was.
Well, I think you were more afraid of losing your job as well, you know, because we didn't think of reporting them to the union. I should have gone to the bosses, but they don't. They didn't do anything at the time because they knew it had always gone on. But my mother was what they call a tower. She used to take the edges off plates, and she used to tell me how awful some of the women were when the men went through, you know. And I couldn't believe it till I went on a bot bank. I've never actually seen it because I didn't work down there, but they used to tell me, you know. And they wouldn't go down. Men wouldn't go down on their own. No.
It's really surprising that. I find that very surprising
Yeah.
that the men were so afraid of the
Yeah.
women.
Well, they didn't stand a chance. Apparently, there was a lot of them that, you know, I mean, you've got to be strong for fight about 8 women. Yeah. Oh dear, they were.
So was it sort of the majority of the workers women? I know a lot of people have told me that women even though they may not have been the managers, they kind of run the show a bit.
They did down in that end, so they told me, yeah, but like I say, I didn't work down that end, so I don't know. But you couldn't, even where I worked, the women didn't have much say in anything, you know. No, you were told what to do and that's it. Even though sometimes you think they'd have the favourites, they'd have all the easy work and, you know, the bosses would. But there was loads of good times and things were running smoothly and, yeah.
Brilliant. I've just got one last question, really.
Yeah.
What would you say to a young woman now if she thought she would quite like to go into ceramics? Would you recommend it?
I would now, yeah. Yeah, I would. Because it's so different now. It was different when I finished. It was gone a lot better and you had more say in everything as well, you know. Yeah. Oh, yes, it did change. Yeah. Yes, I would. I loved that job. Yeah, and you get to know just how the thickness of the glaze and how it should be and all that. And then you put filling the gun up and spraying it. You know, this show. I'm going out to the hospital. My shoulder's gone with. I think that was from where. Yeah, because I did it for, like I say, 30 odd years. Yeah.
Yeah, so you think it's a rewarding craft to get into?
Yes. Now it looks so different. Yeah. Yes, and they turn some lovely stuff out now, don't they? Well, they did then.
Yeah, I think that's everything I want to ask. Unless you've got any specific memories or anything you'd like to say about it.
I can't think of anything else now. Not very interesting, am I?
No, that's some great anecdotes that we can use. It's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Great.
Well done.